this house. I grew up in this house. I was born and raised here, and later in life I bought the house from my parents, and they continued to live in this house until they passed away. My mother lived with my wife and myself until she was 91. She was able to stay in the same house that she'd lived in so many years. And she died quite suddenly in 1987 at the age of 91. But this house means a lot to me because of the family members that have owned it from time to time, and most of all because my parents were here and I grew up here. I feel real attachment to the old joint. 1965, somewhere in there, about the time of the Civil War, and then there's been various additions and changes made to it from that time on. Of course, whenever you do any work on it, there's parts of it that you'll see where they have actual 2x4 lumber in it, real dimensions and so forth.
That's great. You'll go through that.
Just a minute here. Auxiliary channel. I don't know why that TV set's still where it's at.
You got any?
Stress.
Tom, you know, how far back did you go on your mom's side? Pretty far back.
Well, yeah, going back.
To the Kearns, you mean?
Yeah.
The Kearns?
Through the Kearns and on that side, yeah.
And mom's side, this Joseph Adams had a John Adams who had a daughter named Mary.
You want a picture of Lulu? That's your mom.
Mm-hmm. That's Grandma when she was very young.
And that's his sister.
No, this is Mom.
Oh, it is? Oh.
That's Mom right there.
Oh, great. All right, let's see if we can zero in on some of this.
This is my mother when she was 32.
Oh, isn't she beautiful?
She had, I think her hair had already started turning gray, but she was dying in those days.
Beautiful woman. Just a beautiful woman. That's wonderful.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is my mother at 14 months.
When was she born?
1897, yeah.
Same year as my mom.
Uh-huh.
In fact, they died, by the way, the same year.
Is that right?
Yeah, mother was 91.
Yeah.
She died in
so
86.
Was my mom. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, wonderful.
Then we have...
They're probably up there watching us, you know.
Yeah, right. This is my mother's family.
No,
This is my grandfather, Frank Curran. And that's Grandma.
wait, let me get... okay, now, that's Frank Kern.
That's Frank Curran.
Okay, what a handsome
And
man.
that's Lulu, my
Oh, her
grandmother.
name was Lulu?
Yeah.
My mother's name. That's so
Sure.
interesting. I
Yeah,
haven't met many Lulus.
Then right in the foreground, that's my mom, Hazel.
Beautiful.
And that's Helen, who
Oh.
we always called Aunt Dub.
Oh, when she referred to Dub, I know now what she was talking
Yeah,
about
that's
in this
Aunt-
letter.
that's, how she got that particular nickname, I don't know, but
That's wonderful.
this is another picture of my grandfather, Frank Kern. This is taken, I think, about 1930, just shortly before he died.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Handsome man, too.
You want to show that one?
Oh, okay.
1942.
This is a 1942 picture of my dad and mom and my
Okay,
brothers.
and let's go over this. Now, your dad, what was his name?
Grover
Grover
John
John Woodard.
Lambert.
Lambert, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not into the Woodards yet.
Yeah. And this is my mom over here. Of course,
Right.
you can see her gray hair. This would be my brother John.
Who married my sister.
Mhm.
Wait just a minute.
And then this is my brother Dave. That's myself, the taller one there, and that's my younger brother Timothy there.
Oh, what a cutie. Nice family.
And-
Okay, good. All right.
Okay, let's see what else we got here. Now this, I got a picture of Aunt Dub when she was real young.
So your father's mother married, yeah, a Woodard. No, who?
No, my father and his family comes out of Bayfield, Wisconsin, and the Lamberts came to this country through Canada.
Oh, I see. So
Yeah.
now Hazel's
What we're
father married a Woodard.
Right. Mm-hmm. There we got it. This is Aunt Dub when she was about 14 months, I think, or 1 year old, or something like that.
Precious. This is precious.
Here's one of the old, and this is a picture of my grandmother. This is Lulu at 21 or 22. The original studio photograph taken in Toma.
Beautiful.
Okay.
You want to show them a picture?
And this was the would be
Oh,
the anniversary picture of my dad and my mom.
oh, how wonderful. Let's see. Can you hold it straight a little bit?
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, that's wonderful. Handsome people.
Yeah.
So
Did
sweet.
you want to show this older? Or?
Yeah. And what I'll do, Ann, is I'll get I used to do a lot of this kind of work myself with a darkroom and
Oh dear,
photo
really?
restoring business that I used to do in the basement. But this is
Oh,
my grandfather at the age of 7,
and what was his name?
Kern.
Yes, but
Frank Kern.
what Frank Kern. That's great.
Frank Maitland Kern, and I have his middle name too.
Oh,
My middle
that's
name is
great.
Maitland.
Great, I love it. Okay.
Okay, now.
Now, do you have any pictures of the Woodards or not? Or
Well, let's
who
see,
has
we
those
just-
pictures, I wonder?
Well, the oldest pictures are.
Okay.
I don't know. John.
Those are,
There's my mother. Now, that was her wedding picture, if I remember correctly. That's my mother, Lulu Winship.
mhm,
Her mother was a Woodard, Eliza Woodard.
mhm.
And her mother's sister was Ellie Woodard. Who
No.
was mother? No, my grandmother, Eliza, because that's how you're related to
Right.
me.
Mhm.
How does that work?
Well, I'm not absolutely sure here, Ann. I'd have to go find that genealogy and go through there. I get a little confused because there's some yeah. I mean,
Okay,
I'm
this is
I'm
Eliza Woodard, and she is my grandmother. And she was born in Little Valley, and she died in Arlington. But in her lifetime, she lived in Tunnel City, Wisconsin. And these are her children, which include my mother, Lulu Marilla, born 1897. Then Ellie Woodard is her father. And he was born in Champion, New York, and he was married in Watertown, New York. And he died in Watertown, but he didn't. He died here in Sparta, Tunnel City area.
Doesn't it look like?
Now, I have in a census in 1860 census, I have him as a farmer in Adriantown, Monroe County. But they don't give Tunnel City as a town, so I imagine that's Tunnel City. And he married Louisa Darrow. And today I'm finding out, or we'll be able to have access to some genealogy for the Darrows. Though I do know her father was an itinerant preacher and traveled throughout western New York. And they're from Watertown. Now, Ellie Woodard he was the son of Levi Woodard, though I have him down as John Woodard. And according to Hazel, Tom's mother, he had two marriages. In his first marriage, he had a son named Charles, who moved to Adrian Township. And then about 1860, Ellie moved to Wisconsin from Watertown, and they had adjoining property. Now, Charles Woodard had children, Deniston, Elsie, Ellie, who was Ellie Elwyn Emerson Johnson Woodard. Did you know that? And then this Elsie, I believe, is the relative that my mother and Hazel, Tom's mother, share. Okay? No, I've never seen that woman.
No, I don't know who that is. It's among these pictures.
Maybe it's her friend, sometimes
Could be, yeah.
people did that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Here. There's that one. There's this one.
Now, I wonder if that might, oh, I see.
Do you see any family resemblances there? I really don't know who this particular picture
They're
is.
certainly all dressed up, though, aren't they?
Yeah, right.
Cute little people. I'll have to look at that one closer.
Yeah, and then there's this one too, another military-like picture.
Well, there was yeah. Anybody in the First World War?
Well,
Or is that Second
my
World
dad, my dad was in the First World War, and
Could that be him?
apparently whoever this
Who's
is.
this?
Oh, this is.
And we believe this might be her mother. Do you remember her mother's first name?
No, I can't right offhand. No.
Elsie, maybe? Ellie?
Ellie, yeah.
Ellie, yes, who she called Mama. That's what
Yeah.
she said.
Mhm.
I think this is the woman. Look at that wonderful Victorian outfit.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a beautiful face. Wonderful. See? Might as well do this
These
right.
are my two older brothers.
Uh-huh.
They were just youngsters.
Here. Oh, through these.
Okay.
Okay, great. Got it?
Let's see here. It's a picture of my brother John when he graduated.
That was the husband of my sister Jane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where is he now?
Right now he's living in a group home.
Kind
Little
of.
Falls group home in Cataract. It's a small community just north of here, and I've been taking care of his affairs here for the past 7 or 8 years now. He had a house
On K Street.
on K Street, and he went through bankruptcy, and when he went through the bankruptcy, he just sort of had a breakdown and has had problems ever since. And I've been taking care of his affairs and I'm not officially his guardian, but I take care of all of those necessary decisions that
Sure.
a guardian would make. But health-wise, he's doing good. He's kind of stubborn old man.
Is he?
74 right now.
Does he talk about Jane, or is
Oh yeah,
anybody goes?
yeah. He talks about Jane, and he talks about the last time that he went to visit her, and said that when he visited her that she was really quite happy there.
Uh-huh.
And
Is she better?
well, he said that she she was Jane, and that she seemed to be really happy where she was. She had a job there, and she was working and being able to do something, and that was the last time we saw her. I think that was probably that would have to be about 8 years ago, 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, I
ago.
had a lot of feelings about whether to stop in Madison or not. I didn't know
Yeah.
whether
Anyway,
it would do
that's,
any good to see her or not.
But John is when he recently he was living in an apartment here in town, and my wife and I were in Florida for the winter, and he fell down, and he didn't break any bones, but they took him to the hospital. He become kind of malnourished, hadn't been feeding himself properly,
That happens.
and he was from the hospital. He spent a short time in the hospital, and then he went to a nursing home right outside of town here for physical therapy, getting back on his feet, and he's back. But rather than go into an apartment, he really needed more care than he could handle himself in an apartment. So he's went into a group home, and that's where he's right now. When he fell down and was injured, he made a vow not to shave until he went back to his apartment. So consequently he's got a long beard, and his hair is long. It looks quite nice. I can't convince him that he should get a haircut and a shave. He looks kind of like Santa Claus, and he's
Great.
in this group home that he's at right now. He's quite happy with it. He's mentally as alert as any time in his life. His memory is extremely good.
Did you see how the deterioration in Jane? Were you able to?
Well, yeah, I was over a period of time when they were living in town here.
Oh, they lived here?
Oh yeah. There was a period of time they lived in a house right down at the end of the street, as a matter of fact.
Really?
And they had an apartment down there, and at that time everything was really fine, And I used to go visit John and Jane, and then when John finally started working for the state of Wisconsin in social work, he moved to Madison, where their offices were located.
And that's
in
when she
Madison.
started having problems?
Yeah, and then over a period of years there, at that time I was working for the Chicago Northwestern Railroad, and I got a chance to see him occasionally down in Madison. And it was there in Madison that I noticed that her condition had changed somewhat, and it really, the times that I saw her when I visited John down there, she seemed quite good, but a little more kind of withdrawn or something, I would say. But she also was really pleasant to me. We also got along really good, but she over the period of years there, then when I quit the railroad and went to work for train company, of course I wasn't traveling around the state, and I didn't have a chance to see John as often as I had before. And it was only when they would come to town and visit, and that got to be rather infrequent until things got worse for both of them, I believe. and eventually he retired from working at the state. He was actually got a disability from the state, and that's been what he's been doing ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Her worries about what John was doing when he was at work John spent a lot of time with her, all of his time with her.
Well, he did everything, I understand.
Yeah.
My brother said he visited, and
Yeah.
John was cleaning the house, and John was doing everything, and she
Right.
got real, she would just stay in the house.
Yeah, it was something that he spent all of his time doing eventually, was taking care of their needs in the house and working on his job. But she was always, my understanding is that she was worried about him having affairs with people at work and things like that, typical
Paranoid kind of thing.
kind of a paranoid attitude that she had. And it really got to be a real problem. As a matter of fact, it was the thing that interfered with his job, and it eventually caused the disability that he went into. He had difficulties with his employer because of his a lot of interruptions to his work when Jane would call him.
Yeah. All right.
John's kind of pouting there at the steering wheel of the, of the little coaster wagon. That's Dave in the back.
That's great.
But when I look at those pictures, I can see. I see.
Wait, let's go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were married right in this room here,
Oh.
They
right
were?
in front of this window. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She was very bright, they say.
Oh yeah.
But see, I don't even know her.
Well, I probably know her better than you do then.
Yes. Oh, yes.
It's
Oh,
fun.
yes. But I
Yeah.
don't think she even looks much like me, does she?
There's not really an awful lot. No. I guess that's what I was. That was something that I was going to evaluate when I first met you. Is see if I could see. But I do see other family resemblance there. But
Who married her?
Um,
Rice?
no. Judge Rice was
Oh.
barely out of high school at that time.
Oh.
Do you want to hold the picture up again while you're talking? So I
Uh,
can catch that. I want to make sure I was recording because
Yeah.
I just realized I missed something.
Oh,
Sometimes if if
yeah. Sometimes you look up there and gee whiz, it says standby, or it says recording when you thought it was on standby.
yeah, I've
Yeah.
gotten a lot of street shots that way.
Yeah. Anyway, this is.
So she was married in this room by the minister, and then you guys kind of became close, or?
Well, when I was younger, my brother John was my hero.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great.
And so I kind of
We should
waited
turn off
for
the.
him to kind of do hero-like things.
We should
for
turn
me.
off the TV, can't
Yeah.
we? The sound.
Yeah, let's do that.
We've had it on the whole time, but I guess it doesn't matter. But
Go
ahead.
Anyway, when World War II came around, why John, he was drafted rather early on, and went off to the South Pacific, and my older brother finished high school, or my next older brother Dave finished high school, and then went into the Army.
Now, how much difference in age are you talking about?
I think there's about 5 or 6 years difference in their age.
Between you and John?
Between me and John, there is 11 years difference.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
have quite a bit of difference
Yeah.
too.
But between me and Dave, there's about 6 years. It was about 6 years. And between John and Dave, I think there's I think that must have been about 4 years difference there. And then between my younger brother and I, there's 6 years difference.
Yeah, we have that kind of spread in our family too.
So, and Tim was born when Mom was in her early 40s.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
when I was born.
That's
When Mother was in her early
yeah.
40s. But Jane, I knew she had a terrible fight with my mother. That's all I remember
Oh.
about her
Mhm.
when she came back from the ways.
Mhm.
And she accused Mother of controlling her and that she should have married this guy she met while she was in college. And Mother said, well, wait till you get out of the service, then decide. And she blamed Mother for not marrying this guy. And then my Mother sent her back to Wisconsin, and then I never saw her again. Well, she came and visited a couple times, but I don't even remember she came out to California, but it's always seemed kind of funny. You
Yeah.
know, but families are families. I don't.
Yeah, well, you know,
I don't
there's-
judge much anymore because it doesn't.
No, it's,
People are the way they are, and that's just the way it is.
I'm looking through these pictures here. A lot of these pictures John put together, and they're kind of.
Do you think John would enjoy seeing me?
Well,
Well,
it's hard to say.
it's-
He's kind of he's kind of made a recluse of himself until he went until he had his fall, and then he, you know, was forced onto society again, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
But he kind of likes to be left alone, really, and I.
Well,
couldn't
you
say
can
for-
just tell him that I was here and
I certainly will.
took some pictures.
I'm looking through some of these old
You know what I was thinking, if you have time,
Mhm.
if you'd be willing, I was gonna go to the courthouse
Sure.
and look at the property things. I thought maybe we could do that.
Uh-huh.
And then we could find both of them, and then we could find any vital records.
Sure. Okay.
See, I'll have you a
Good.
genealogist.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.